Hey guys, what's up? How y'all doing? I'm here to talk to you guys about One Piece's new chapter, which is on chapter 1084. This chapter right here looks like to me things are about to get very hectic. I mean, it's already hectic enough for what's been happening in last chapter and now this chapter and its ending. Oda, you love to do these things all the time, don't you? Duh. So, anyways, let's just get this started. We have to it that Sabo fights off a couple guards, which I don't care about because they're not important, but he meets up with Jewelry Bonnie and they talk about Kuma. We have to it Jewelry Bonnie decides to go after Vegapunk and find a way how to restore her father back, while Karasu ends up giving something to Sabo for keys, that kind of thing. And we have to it that Sabo saves Jewelry Bonnie from being attacked by these guards. I don't care what they are. Like I said, they're not even that important to me because they're just fodder people that Sabo could take care of easily. And we have to it that that Sabo tells Bonnie where to go to Egghead, that kind of thing. And that they want to save the same person because, Kuma is Bonnie's father and so forth. And we would go to this scene right here, which is very important depending on your point of view. Many people may find it boring, but this is where the lore of One Piece comes into play, because that's the most interesting, honestly, when it comes to certain places of the One Piece world, We have to it that Cobra ends up meeting up with the Gorosei and talk to them about a certain history. He knows that the country's or world government was founded 800 years ago and that 20 different monarchs came, and that they all moved to Maryjos to live as one clan, which is called the Celestial Dragons. However, the ones responsible for creation of the world, they ruled it ever since. However, there were 20 that were considered equal and to ensure that no individual dictator will rise among them. And it's called the empty throne for a reason. Each and every one of them places a sword on that empty throne to know that no one would ever sit upon it, I don't know. One thing's for certain, Cobra does tell the Gorosei or ask him about how the founders never been involved here and there. I don't know. But one thing's for certain, he talks about someone called Nefertari Lily, Lily of the House of the Nefertari, which is something that Cobra is a part of. She did not stay to become a Celestial Dragon. Instead, she goes back to Alabasta to continue her reign whatsoever, Not to mention, because of that, there are only 19 weapons. One is missing, which apparently belongs to Lily. But we had to it. Gorosei's like, okay, get to the point. Why are you even here? Cobra says, I scoured all over my Ancient Kingdoms text, but I can't find anything about her name. Not once it was mentioned. And something about the Void Century is something I know you guys were forbidden to talk about, but the thing is, Lily never made it back to Alabasta, and the burden of ruling a country fell to her younger brother whatsoever. So, do you have any record what happened to her? So, with all the freaking information that Cobra mentioned about how the world government was founded, yada yada yada, Cobra asked him about, do you know where Queen Lily is? Because it's not mentioned in the ancient text of mine at home, neither it was ever talked about it at all, that kind of thing. So, one of the Gorosei talks to Cobra and says, well, 800 years ago, there were 20 families there, and the Nefertari line never moved there at all. However, we cannot find the information about her due to the fact that it was gone, and they are lost to the annals of history we don't even know of. Sorry if I said the freaking word wrong, forgive me. Sometimes they sound the same. That aside, therefore, Cobra decides to ask a real question, which he believes he may want to ask, what does the letter D supposed to mean? And that alone is actually very interesting because we all know a lot of characters with the letter D, okay? Luffy, Law, Portuguese D Ace, Gold D Roger, etc. Blackbeard Teach, that kind of thing. You get the idea. Sometimes we question, does that D come from a royal family? We actually wonder about that. I actually wondered about that, or maybe some other people before me. What does the letter D mean? They say, etc. All I know is it brings fear into Doflamingo, that's for sure, but whatever the case is. However, Im was actually listening into this with the snail. We don't really know, but one thing's for certain is Cobra does say one, the Gorosei ask, why do you ask about the letter D? And we had to, Cobra's like, well, the truth is, a short letter penned by the queen has been passed down from one generation to the next. So, I don't know what this D is supposed to mean, but all I know is it's what's the word? We all know it's a very common thing for D to be the enemy to the celestial dragons. We've seen that, and we've been told about that when it came to Doflamingo fighting Law and Luffy. And of course, Corazon, when it came to Law, tells him, D are known to be people to take down heavenly folks or people. We don't know. But now, this scene right here, all I can really tell you, it involves Shirahoshi and freaking Carlos, or whatever his name is. I don't give a damn, because you know that guy who shot Hachi and he got one-shotted by Luffy? Yeah, he's at it again to try to kidnap Shirahoshi, but with Kuma helping him. And it's very gosh dang annoying. We have to it that, we have to it right now that freaking that Shirahoshi's brothers come in and try to save her, but they are overwhelmed by Kuma himself. We have to it that Charles tells Kuma to get rid of him and that they're just fish. We could just bury things under money. I don't know. But one thing's for certain is that freaking Sai and Leo gets really angry about this and going, what the hell are you doing? Again? Are you freaking serious? I don't blame him at this point. I'm very annoyed as well. Any of you guys who've seen what this mother piece of filth of a celestial dragon's been doing, you'll hate him too, obviously, from the get-go. In fact, he is one of the most hated characters in One Piece in the manga and anime of all time. I looked into this. He is one of the most hated pieces of filth out there. That aside, Sai and Leo was about to go into action. We had to, at Mo's guard stops Fukaboshi to not harm Charlos or whatever, Carlos, whatever his name is. We had to it that that Mo's guard stops Fukaboshi and tells him that you got a country to take care of, while we are idiots and we don't have anything to lose, That's the problem. We have to it that Leo and Sai end up delivering a heavy blow onto Carlos at the same time. Freaking Sai hits him with dragon nail, while freaking Leo smacks him with tail hammer, and freaking Carlos, he is compressed. His head from face to the neck, he is compressed and slammed down to the ground. I'm thinking in my mind, if this guy does not die, or if he's not in, let's see here, handicap assistance where he has crutches and all that, you get the idea. I'm going to be so angry because this guy can't fight, and all the injuries he's been taking on were really, what's the word? Too fatal. For example, Luffy punching the guy in the face, and freaking Mo's guy hitting him with the mace in the face. And this right here, they are seriously the Straw Hat Grand Fleet caring for their friends tremendously. Going I'm gonna kill you, man. That kind of thing. If this guy is not dead or he's not in handicap crutches, I'm gonna flip, man. Oda, I understand you like to keep your characters alive for many reasons, man, but please, don't overdo it. Don't overdo this with this one. This guy has to be a cripple by now. If he's not in a wheelchair by the time I see him the next time, or if he's not considered dead, I'm gonna flip. I cannot be the only one to think about that, because, yeah, okay, enough of me ranting on like a moron all the time. We had to it, Kuma was about to attack Leo and Sai, but we had to it that the giant guy from the Revolutionary stops Kuma, and they end up taking him. The crow ends up showing up and so forth, and one of the guys screaming out for his son. I don't care, he's not that time. But the ending of the chapter is what's scary, because Imu shows up on the throne and says the word Lily to Cobra, and this is very scary because the Gorosei knows that they do not no one is allowed to see M at all, I think. The way how this person or he or she is sitting on the throne right now, which I believe there's a big possibility that it might be a she right now, is that no one is ever allowed to see her almost all the time. I mean, only the Gorosei is allowed to see them, ironically. We don't really know why, but all we know is her name, herself, is kept secret from the world. Like, hidden. Only the Gorosei knows, and they follow the orders of M. I don't know. You guys get the idea, right? Surely you do. Anyways, I think M might be revealed in the next chapter, but sadly, One Piece will be on break, which is what Oda loves to do, obviously, from the get-go. Take your break, Oda, man. You've been doing a lot of hard work, man. I don't mind you taking more than 1 week break if you have to, but if you're going to end up with a freaking crazy cliffhanger like this, you're freaking mean. But that aside, anyways, some crazy stuff going on. Like I said, this history with like the 20 countries and, you know, the person Lily, that person actually has a familiar name to Vivi. Vivi, Lily, you get the idea. Lai, however you pronounce the name, forgive me. Lily, Vivi, they seem connected, don't you think? We don't know, but we'll have to find out. But one thing's for certain is that if Cobra is really dead, what was shown, I pray the life given me, I don't know. I feel like the government, the Gorosei, and M might have set this up, or they might have killed him to also frame Sabo as well. I guess, like I said, Sabo is explaining it to, like, Dragon and all that, you know, that kind of thing. So, yeah, I don't know what's about to happen next, but one thing's for certain is that Cobra is pronounced dead. Like, he is announced dead. We don't really know how this is going to turn out, but one thing's for certain is that when they think that Sabo has said that, done it in the news, it's actually very scary. Right now, even Dragon considers this that it's unforgivable. So, yeah. We don't really know if we might see M in the next chapter, but I feel like we may end up getting trolled to not see her face. But it is up to freaking like Oda how he wants to handle this, you know? So until then, people, I'll see you guys in the next video. So I'm off as Zero. Have a good day. I'll see you guys next time, alright? Peace out. Bye-bye. Toot-toot-toot!